Yes, sir. Sir, very happy morning to all. Sir, we have start talking about the first chapter, that is salary. Chapter salary classified into 5 category. Number 1, basics. Number 2, exemptions or retirement benefits. Number 3, allowances. Number 4, number 5. In that basics, the main important point to take away is if there is employer-employee relationship, then such an income will be taxable under the head income from salary. Sir, these are the major exemptions or retirement benefits. Number 1, 10.5, leave travel concession or leave travel assistance. 10.10, gratuity. 10.10A, pension. 10.10AA, leave salary. 10.10B, retrenchment compensation. 10.10C, VRS. 10.10CC, tax on non-monetary perquisite. 10.11, statutory provident fund or public provident fund. 10.12, recognized provident fund. 10.13, superannuation fund. 10.13A, HRA, and 10.14, special allowance. In that we are going to talk about leave travel concession or leave travel assistance, which are explained in section 10.5. Which are explained in section? Sir, as I already introduced to you, actually under the direct tax we are having two routes. One is optional tax regime and default tax regime. Or rather first default tax regime and optional tax regime. Every assessee, whether if the assessee is an individual, EHUF, AOP, BOI and AJP. This is one set of class of assessee. What Income Tax Act has done is, the provisions of income tax is applicable to these 5 people. This is a block of assessees. Sir, if I say basic exemption, for all these people basic exemption limit will be same. For all these people surcharge will be same. For all these people health and education cess will be same. That is, this is a group of people, 5 people. Number 1, individual, HUF, AOP, BOI and AJP. Repeat once again. Individual, HUF, AOP. For these people, under the Income Tax Act, we are having 2 routes. Route number 1 is default tax regime and optional tax regime. Generally, normally, automatically, every people will fall under the default tax regime. So, by default, you will fall under the default tax regime. If you don't like the default tax regime, you can get out of the default tax regime and you can choose the option of traveling through the optional tax regime. So, these 5 people, who and all 5 people? Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI and AJP will generally fall under the default tax regime. Sir, if they don't like the default tax regime, they can choose the option of optional tax regime. Getting it? Now I am going to talk about the leave travel concession or leave travel assistance, which is applicable to the optional tax regime. Which is applicable to the? Which are covered under 115 BAC subsection 1A. 115 BAC subsection 1A. 115 BAC. So if an individual, HUF, AOP, BOI or AJP is saying that I am not interested to travel through the default tax regime. I want to travel through the optional tax regime under section 115 BAC subsection 1A. Repeat one section. 115 BAC subsection. Then he is entitled to claim exemption under section 10.5. Then only is entitled to claim exemption under section. What is exempted? Exempt the leave travel concession received by the employee from their employers for proceeding to any place in India. That means 2 parties are there. One is called as employer and other is called as employee. Employee is getting leave travel concession or leave travel assistance from whom? Employer. For the purpose of going to any place in India. That means employee is going to any tour in India. For that, employer is going to reimburse the money. Are you really with me? So, it exempt. Section 10.5 is exempt. The leave travel concession. Received by whom? Employee. From whom? Employer. For proceeding to any place in India. That means you have to go to the tour only in India. That means you are not supposed to go to tour outside India. If you are going to tour outside India, then section 10.5 exemption will not be applicable. In order to enjoy 10.5 exemption, you have to go to tour only in India. Either on leave, you can take leave and you can go to tour. That means during service itself you can go to tour. There is no problem. That means there is no need that you have to go to tour only after retirement getting it, or after retirement from service. Sir, after you retire from the service also you can go to the tour. That is also allowed. Or after termination from the service, that is VRS, voluntary retirement scheme, right sir? You are terminating from the service and you are going to the tour. So tour can be, sir, go either on leave or after retirement or on. But this section is saying that leave travel concession or leave travel assistance is saying that to any place you can go in India. You can go either in aeroplane or in train or in roadways. Any mode of transport you can use, but will be exempt up to a destination by the what route. For example, if you are going to Delhi, you should not go to Hong Kong, then sir, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, then when you are coming back, I am coming to Delhi. Like that, it should not be there. From your place, you have to go to Delhi in the what route? Shortest route. What route, man? So, will be exempted up to the destination by the what route? Shortest. Only to that extent, it will be exempted under section 10 subsection 5. So, what is 10.5? Leave travel concession or leave travel assistance. What this section is saying that if employee want either on taking leave or after retirement from the service or after termination of his service, he can go to tour. For that, the money will be spent by the employer. That will be exempted in the hands of the employee under section 10 subsection 5. That tour, sir, where I can go? You can go to any place in India, that tour. Are you really with me? But the amount of exemption will be, sir, you have to go to the destination only by the what route? Shortest route. Only by the, fantastic, to the core. There are certain specific notes with regard to 10.5. Exemption will be available in respect of how many journey? 2 journey performed in a block of 4 calendar year, commencing from the calendar year 1986. That means this section came into existence from 1986. So, you have to count like this: 1986, 87, 88 and 89. This is one block. This is one block of how many years? In 4 years, you can go 2 tours. How many tours is allowed? Sir, every day I am going for tour. Then who will work, man? Correct? Sir, in 1 year, 5 tour I will go. Sir, then who will work, man? Sir, you are working for a block of how many years? 4 years. If it is 89, then the next 4 years will be 90, 91, 92, 93. This is block number 2. Sir, in this block, you can go how many tours? 2 tours. 93, after 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. This is block number 3. Sir, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. Correct, sir? This is block number 4. 2002, 3, 4, 5. This is block number. Then 6, 7, 8, 9. Are you really with me? Then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25. So, we are in this block. So, this section 10 subsection 5 is saying that exemption will be available in respect of how many journey? So, 2 journeys allowed. Totally only 2 times you can go for tour. Performed in a block of how many calendar year? 4 calendar year. In 4 calendar year. For what year? Calendar year. There is a difference between accounting year, calendar year, previous year, right, sir? Calendar year starts from 1st of Jan till 31st of December. So, this is what? For calendar year. Commencing from calendar year what? 1986. So, it has to be start from 1986. Comfortable? Where such travel concession or assistance is not availed by the individual during any block of 4 in a year, calendar year, one such unavailed LTC will be carried forward to the immediately succeeding block of 4 calendar year and will be eligible for the what? Exemption. That means if that individual is not able to go for tour, how many tour? 2 tours in the block of 4 years, 1 tour can be carried forward. That means next year you will be having 2 tour plus carry forward. So, in the next block of how many year? 4 years, you can go 3 tours. Are you really with me? So read the second line. Where such travel concession or assistance is not availed by the individual during any block of 4 calendar years, one such unavailed LTC will be what forward? Carry forward to the immediately succeeding block of 4 calendar year and will be eligible for, sir, where he can go? Only in India he can go to tour, right sir? Along with whom he can go? Exemption is allowed for journey performed either by the employee or by his family. So either employee can alone go to a tour or along with his family he can go to a tour. Are you really with me? Now question arises. Who and all will form part of the? Sir, the family includes individual, he himself, or what? Spouse, children, parents, brothers or sisters of the individual or any of them. Wholly or mainly dependent on the individual. These guys should be wholly or mainly depending on the, that means who and all families are? Individual, spouse, children, parents, brothers and sisters of the individual or any of them, wholly or mainly dependent on the individual. Wholly or mainly, this is very important last point, that's its special notes. The exemption shall not be available. Exemption shall not be. 10 subsection 5 exemption will not be available to more than 2 surviving children of an individual born on or after 1st October 1998. So, in your family, you can go, 1 wife is allowed and 2 children is allowed. You can have more than 2 children, there is no problem. But exemption will be restricted only to 2 children. Sir, if you are having 5 children and if you are bringing all the 5 children to the tour and you are saying that I want exemption under 10 subsection 5, what act is saying that? It will not be allowed. Are you really with me? Sir, that too they made a cutoff 1998. 1990. So before 1998, if you are having 5 children, no problem. After 1998, you should control yourself. Are you really with me? You should not have more than 2 children. This is act. Sir, this restriction shall not apply. In respect of children born before 1st October 1998, no problem. So, you can have n number of children before 1st October 1998. But after 1st October 1998, you should not have 2 children. This is my first point. If you are having more than 2 children, exemption will be restricted to 2 children. And also in case where an individual, after getting 1 child, gets multiple children on the second occasion. Sir, even if it is after 1st October 1998, on the first delivery, 1 child. Congratulations. With God's grace, second delivery, 2 child. Then, it will be treated as 2 children. It will be treated as, very simple man. What Income Tax Act is saying that? Very important discussion. Listen carefully. Sir, first delivery, second delivery. Are you all really with me? On the first delivery, you are having 1 children. Right, sir? You said congratulations, and in the second delivery you are having 1 more children, no problem. Because only how many children? 2 children, it is allowed under 10(5). Sir, first delivery 1 children, sir. With God's grace, second delivery 2 children will be considered as 2 children. Sir, totally 3, no problem. Hello, sir. Sir, first delivery itself how many children? 2 children. Then itself, sir, you got a pre-alarm. But still, second delivery, 1 children, 2 children or 3 children will not be considered. The maximum exemption will be 2 children. Comfortable? Are you ready with me? Sir, don't laugh, man. This is a 5-mark question asked in the examination. I will show you the exam question. Below itself we are having, sir. So what this section is saying that 10 subsection 5, either on leave, by taking leave or retirement from the service, or after termination of the service, employee can go to tour to any place in India using the what route? Shortest route. Shortest route. Either in aeroplane or in train or in roadways. Are you comfortable? This section starts from 1986. For a block of 4 calendar year, 2 travels are, 2 journeys are allowed. Are you really with me? If you are not able to go to tour in any of the 4, block of 4 calendar year, 1 such things can be carry forward, and in the next block of 4 years, you can go for how many tours? 3 tours instead of question arises. Who and all can go for tour? You can go, and also your family can go. Now question arises, who and all are the family? Individual, spouse, children, parents, brothers and sisters of the individual. But all or any of them should be wholly or mainly dependent on the individual. Are you all really with me? Now delivery restrictions, sir. Sir, on or after 1st October 1998, maximum 2 children will only be allowed. Right, sir? Before that, you can have n number of children, there is no problem. But even after 1st October 1998, in first delivery, if you are having 1 children, and in second delivery, if you are having 2 children, will be treated as 2 children. You are entitled to claim exemption and for all the 3 children. Comfortable? Sir, in case of individual, HUF, AOP, BOI and AJP, as we talked, they are having 2 routes. One is default tax regime, and first of all, understand what is the scheme of default tax regime. Default tax regime means no deduction. Default tax regime means, but certain deductions are allowed. We will make it as exception. Are you really with me? So leave travel concession or leave travel assistance is fully taxable in where? Default tax regime. That means, my dear lovable students, if you are traveling through what tax regime? Default tax regime. Their main idea or agenda of the government itself is claim less deduction. Then automatically the income will be more. Pay less tax. Are you really with me? But under the optional tax regime, whatever deduction or exemption are available in the act, you claim it. So automatically total income will be less. Pay more amount of tax. Understanding? So under the default tax regime, no exemption or deduction will be allowed. But for that also certain what is there? Exceptions are there. That I will make at the appropriate time. Are you really with me? So section 10 subsection 5 will not be available or applicable for the default tax regime, will be available or applicable only for the optional tax regime. Getting it? Super fantastic to the core. With this, we will be checking one question. Immediately after discussing one provision, we are having one question for understanding. This will be either ICAI study material question or book back question or past examination question, which I am calling this as concept question or provision question to understand the provision clearly. Comfortable? Mr. D went on a holiday on 25/12/2024. Our financial year. On Christmas 25th, he went on holiday to Delhi with his wife. Allowed. And 3 children, sir, we have to check the delivery. One son aged 5 years and twin daughters aged 3 years. Allowed. Because in first delivery, 1 children. Second delivery, 2 children. Are you really with me? They went by flight. What class? Economy class. No problem. They can go in flight. And economy class is allowed. Are you really with me? And the total cost of ticket reimbursed by the employer is how much? Employer said that keep 60,000 rupees. 45,000 for adult. How many adults are there? 2 adults. One is Mr. D and other is Mrs. D. Right? Both are allowed. And 15,000 for 3 minor child. That means Chotawala 1, Chotawala 2, Chotawala 3. All are eligible people who are entitled to claim 10/5. Comfortable? Compute the amount of LTC exempt. If Mr. D exercise the option of shifting out of the default tax regime provided under 115 BAC subsection 1A. So this guy has said that I don't want the default tax regime. I am opting the optional tax regime. So I am shifting to optional tax regime under 115 BAC subsection 1A. 10/5 will be available or allowed only if you are traveling through the optional tax regime. Comfortable? Sir, how much he got? 60,000 he got. Under section 10 subsection 5, entire 60,000 is exempted. Because for self it is allowed, for wife it is allowed, and for 3 children also it is allowed. So nothing will be taxable in the hands of the employee. Comfortable? This is what case number 1. Since son's age is more than the twin daughter. So first one, son 1, then only D1 and D2. Are you really with me? Mr. D can avail exemption for all his how many children? These 3 children will be treated as 2 children. As per section 10/5 in the family, after the cutoff date, 2 children are allowed. Comfortable? So the restriction of 2 children is not applicable to multiple birth after 1 children. Getting it clarity? So the holiday being in India because they went to where? Delhi. Delhi is situated, and the journey being performed by air, that to what class? Economy class. The entire reimbursement made by the employer is fully exempted. In the hands of whom? Mr. D. Since he is exercising the option of shifting out of the default tax regime provided under 115 BAC subsection 1A. Because 10(5) exemption will be available only to a person who are traveling through the optional tax regime under 115 BAC subsection. They are twisting the second part of the question. In the above question A, will there be any difference if among how many children? 3 children. Twins were 5 years old and son is 3-year-old. Discuss yes. If that is the case, all the children are not entitled for exemption under section 10 subsection 5. For Chota Wala, totally how much they paid? 15,000. 15,000 means 15,000 classified into how many category? 3 category. 5,000, 5,000 and 5,000. Comfortable. If the first delivery is twins, only this 10,000 will be allowed as exemption under 10(5). Whereas this 5,000 will not be allowed as deduction under 10(5). So this 5,000 will be then in the hands of the employee. Leave travel concession received is how much? 60,000. Out of 60,000, entire 60,000 will not be exempted. Less exempted under section 10(5). Comfortable? Will be 60,000 minus 55,000 minus 5,000. Are you really with me? So how much will be exempted? 55,000 will be exempted. That means balance 5,000 will be taxable leave travel concession or leave travel assistance. Getting it up? Because this is for a Chota Wala which has been born after the twins. Maximum allowed will be. So since the twins age is more than son, Mr. D cannot avail for exemption for all his 3 children. LTC exemption can be availed in respect of only how many children? So the taxable LTC will be 15,000 into 1/3 come to 5,000. Out of 15,000, 10,000 will be exempted for 2 Chota Wala and 5,000 will be taxable. Getting it? And LTC exempt would only be 55,000, which is nothing but 60,000 minus 5,000, because 60,000 he received as leave travel concession or leave travel assistance. Out of that, 5,000 is not entitled for exemption. So 5,000 will be taxable. So from 60,000, if you reduce 5,000, balance 55,000 will be exempted. Automatically 5,000 will be taxable. Comfortable. So we are talking about the chapter salary, man. Chapter salary classified into how many category? 5 category. Number 1, basics. Number 2, exemptions or retirement benefits. Number 3, allowances. Number 4, perquisites. Number 5, deductions. In that, exemptions or retirement benefits is what we are talking about, right? We are having section 10(5). What is 10(5)? Leave travel concession or leave travel assistance. What is the long story short? Very simple. I am the employer, you are the employee. You may go to tour in India either by taking leave or after retirement from the service or from termination of the service. You can go to tour, no problem, along with your family. Are you all really with me? Then, sir, will be exempted up to an amount destination by the what route? Shortest route. Shortest route. Comfortable? Sir, in that, in a block of how many years? 4 years, 2 tours are allowed. In any of the year, if you are not able to go for both the 2 tours, sir, 1 tour can be carried forward. And in the next year, you can go for 3 tours. But there is a cutoff for the children. Sir, after 1st October 1998, only 2 children will be allowed along with your family. If you are having more than that, then also exemption will be available only for the 2 children. Getting it? So my dear lovable students, so before cutoff date, no problem, you can have n number of children. After cutoff date, only 2 children are there. In that also clarification is there. In the first delivery, if you are having only 1 children, and in second delivery, if you are having multiple children, then you will be treated as a 2 children, and for all the 3 children, you are entitled to get the. So in this list of, sir, exemptions or retirement benefits. We are done with the first one called as section 10.5. What is section 10.5? Leave travel concession or leave travel assistance. What is section 10.10? Gratuity. What is section 10.10A? Pension. What is section 10.10AA? What is section 10.10B? Retrenchment compensation. What is section 10.10C? VRS. What is section 10.10CC? Tax on non-monetary perquisite. What is section 10.11? Statutory Provident Fund or Public Provident Fund. What is section 10.12? What is section 10.13? Superannuation Fund. What is section 10.13A? HRA. And what is section 10.14? I am comfortable up to this, sir. Anybody is there? Where is a grand clap? Sir, those who are in virtuals, pause the video after 10.5. Take a break of 5 to 7 minutes of your time. Revise 10.5 and continue with section 10.10 gratuity. Then the level of clarity will be very level.